It's hot. Look at this up.
Alright.
Alright. Art establishes the basic human truths which must serve as touchstones of our judgment. President Kennedy said that. Some might press a little further on this subject and note by saying that while the arts do not make society or its members more energetic or efficient, they do tend to make them wiser and happier, inwardly healthier, and outwardly more alive. William James observed that the strength of any society is best judged by the creativity it induces in its citizens. When you find yourself in an ambience that is expanding the frontiers of science, where a great deal of citizens are striving and involved in scientific and technological effort, I do believe that implementing the arts is essential to a safely balanced society. This can mean transforming STEM education, which is the focus of areas of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, to STEAM, which is the same, only with arts and the in between. Or even the encouragement of individuals such as yourselves to engage and participate in any art form, be it something you like or something you are. Implementing the arts and education could mean using art form as a vehicle to explore other areas of education. For example, music can help teach math. Theater can help teach social studies, or even speech. The arts may not be the concept of many lessons that take place in classrooms, but they can well be the method. This is a simple question of what and how, and I think that the arts shouldn't just be a how, but a what as well. Students can take what they learn through the arts and apply it to other areas of their lives. Although the arts can include many different forms, I would like to start with theater. Tom Vanderwell is a business owner and a blogger who wrote an article on how being a theater major in college helped him out later on in his career. One tool that theater helped Well learn was improvisation. Well says that the great thing about theater and the stage is that when it's live, it's live and you're up in front of an audience and anything can happen, and does happen. Drop lines, missed entrances, and it requires you to improvise while you're maintaining your cool. Theater taught me how to focus, think quickly, and make do while giving the impression that I've got it all under control. This helped well with it served him well with clients, co-workers, and technological difficulties. Another tool was the ability to do the best you can with what you've got. You see, with theater, there's going to be instances where all you have is actors and a text. You might not have choreographers, you might not have visual artists, you might not have stage managers. So you're in a position where you have to do a lot with little. And this goes back to a quote that I came across from Theodore Roosevelt, which goes that, do what you can with what you have where you are. While gathering information on this subject, I had the opportunity to interview Alex Arian, who is a member of the Roundtable for NYC's Arts and Education panel. He has been supporting the arts and education for over 10 years, and he says that theater is the most inclusive of the arts because it can include music, dance, poetry, and it makes it more accessible, specifically for younger students. This accessibility specifically helps bring the most diversity together. It can teach empathy and sympathy. For example, the ability to empathize can come from a role you play. If you're playing the role of a homeless man, your job is to replicate and feel what it means to be homeless. Therefore, next time you pass a homeless man, you might feel different, think different. It enables you to actually put yourself in other people's shoes. Theater, along with dance, also presents a really a rare challenge of combining mind and body coordination. So, you can't just be mentally in it and not physically, and you can't be just physically in it and not mentally. It brings the task of you combining both mind and body to perform a single task. And when I was interviewing Alex, I asked him, why the arts? Why encourage the arts out of all other subjects? And he says, because it encourages and develops creativity. So I said, so what? And he said, so what? Creativity specifically allows you to adapt to any situation. And this spoke to me because along with the social Darwinism theory of survival of the fittest, it also goes back to the topic of taking the tools you learn in theater or in other arts and applying it to other areas of your life. Along with theater, they include other personally, in theater when I was in I believe 4th grade, I was when I was performing for one of my plays, I was main character. I was one of the main characters, and there was one instance where I got yelled at and I cried in front of. I went backstage and I cried to myself. One of the stage managers went up to me. She said, "You're sensitive. That's why you're crying." You might be a guy, but you're sensitive, and that's okay. The next year, I got another role, the lead role in a Boston Tea Party, and I was King George. I still remember the lines. And there was an instance where I had a monologue, and the assistant principal, who was my teacher the last year, she came up to me and she said, "Wonderful job," in front of the whole entire auditorium, and she asked me to give an encore. That built me confidence, and I can still remember that moment till this day. And I can always remember that even though I might not be good, I might not do something, I did something that had value to me. I did something that was happy, and I saw that people appreciated what I did. And that helped me not only build confidence, but also give me a better image of myself. So that's how theater has affected me personally. I would like to move to choir. Chorus is another art form. There was a project by Eric Whittaker, who he actually using YouTube, he took about 2,000 videos around the world and gathered them all together to create a virtual choir, which was inspired by a video that was sent to him from a girl. He's also a conductor and a composer, and she sent a video auditioning for one of his pieces. And through this idea, he got he through this idea through this idea with the virtual choir and its success, he also put a page on Facebook for the singers to upload their testimonies, and and what was their experience singing in the virtual choir. And these people don't recognize it; they don't know each other. These are people from Indonesia, from India, from Hungary, from Sweden, all performing in a choir, not knowing who they are, not who they're paired with. They just with experiences. One of his favorite experiences was this female singer from Alaska. She said, "When I told my husband that I was going to be part of this, he told me that I did not have the voice for it." Yeah, it hurt me. It hurt me so much, and I shed some tears. But something inside of me wanted to do this despite his words. And it is a dream come true to be a part of this choir, as I've never been part of one. When I placed a marker on the Google Earth map, I had to go with the nearest city, which is about 400 miles away from where I live. As I am in the Great Alaskan Bush satellite, satellite is my connection to the world. Two things struck Whittaker deeply about this. The first is that human beings will go to any length necessary to connect with each other. And the second is that with the choir experience, people are actually experiencing a connection. And through the process of singing with people they never met, he felt a closeness with this choir, almost like a family, like a communion, a bond. And the arts can also expand through dance, through learning an instrument. It could go through so many things, and it enables us to express ourselves in our minds and bodies, which is through this we can adopt new perceptions of human ecology, which we should use to reconstruct and how we evaluate the richness of human capacity. With this idea in mind, I strongly believe that we should rethink the fundamental principles of how our children and the way that the future is going to be educated, and with this, I think we'll be able to see and understand the value of our creative energies and capacities for what they're truly worth. Being able to see our youths and hope for what they really are, and take on the task of educating their whole being, and not just the mind or just the body. And using these tools, yeah, I know. Using these tools, I believe it can help them face the future and help prepare them to make something of it. Make something of it by utilizing the tools that I believe they already hold within themselves. All right, cut it.